Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, November 11. In Squiz Kids Today, social media ban for kids, the great ape escape, Wallabies win in England, and the how and why of Remembrance Day. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat are all set to be out of bounds for kids under 16 under new laws the Australian government is proposing to introduce next year. After meeting with all the state premiers on Friday, Aussie PM Anthony Albanese announced a ban on social media platforms for kids under 16, saying that the damage that they can do to young minds meant keeping kids off them was the safest thing we could do. Now, there were lots of parents who welcomed the announcement on Friday, just as there were lots of teenagers who said it either wasn't fair, was misguided, or simply wouldn't work. The Prime Minister, however, seems determined to make the ban happen, but he said that tech companies who own these platforms would have a year to figure out how to make it work. At 11 minutes past 11 o'clock this morning, many Australians will stop what they are doing and observe a minute's silence. Maybe your class and your school will be among them. And that's because today is Remembrance Day, also known as Armistice Day. It was on this day, back in 1918, so 106 years ago, at exactly 11 minutes past 11 o'clock, that the guns fell silent on the Western Front of World War I, bringing to an end more than 4 years of fighting and the loss of millions of lives. And to mark Remembrance Day, we've produced a special Squiz Kids shortcut called Australia at War, explaining where and when Australia has been at war and why and how we pause to remember. The shortcut will drop first thing tomorrow, lest we forget.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in South Carolina, in the United States, where 43 clever rhesus macaque monkeys have pulled off what can only be described as a great escape. The adventure began last Wednesday when a new employee left a gate unlatched at a research facility where the monkeys live, giving them the perfect chance to make a break for it. Now that's what I call putting the ape into escape. That pesky dad joke alarm catches me every time. Known for their resilience and similarity to humans, rhesus macaque monkeys have been involved in research since the 1800s, and in the 1950s were even launched into space by NASA during the space race. Today, they're still essential in studying diseases and vaccines, including those for COVID-19. For now, though, it seems the monkeys are sticking close by the research facility in South Carolina, hanging around the woodland near the facility while staff use food to try and lure them back. Aha! There goes the classroom companion Clarion, and that means our amazing resident primary school teacher Christy has crafted 3 differentiated comprehension and retail worksheets all about today's story of monkeys. This time, you're the reporter. So, if you need to listen again or jot down some notes, go for it. Then, let's find out if you've got what it takes to be the next Squiz Kids host. Teachers, you can access these worksheets for free via the Squiz Kids website, www.squizkids.com.au. And if you'd like to share your work with us, we'd love to see it. Send your efforts to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Now get out there and go bananas.
Sport time.
In what was described afterwards as one of the best days for Australian rugby for years, the Wallabies pulled off an amazing victory against England on the weekend, coming from behind in extra time to win 42 points to 37. Fresh from starring with the Sydney Roosters, rugby league convert Joseph Sua'alii made his mark on debut, helping to set up a couple of Aussie tries in a match that eventually stunned to silence the capacity crowd at London's Twickenham Stadium. Now, it's been a rough year for Aussie rugby fans after the Wallabies bombed out spectacularly in the World Cup in France last October. Fingers crossed, this win over old rivals England is a sign of better things to come.
Spaced out.
Okay, stargazers, it's early to bed for you tonight because you're going to want to be up before sunrise to capture a night sky light show that only happens once a year. I'm talking about the Taurid meteor shower, which will be happening above Australian skies tonight between midnight and when the sun comes up tomorrow. Thousands of space dust and ice particles thrown off by the comet Encke make contact with Earth's atmosphere at a speed of around 100,000 kilometers per hour, burning up on contact, creating a dazzling light show. Encke is a comet that orbits the Sun, just like Earth, but it's on a different plane and a different ellipse. That's physics and maths, people. Ask your teacher to explain. But if you're determined to wake up to stargaze, you're gonna have to be patient. On average, there are only about 5 shooting stars per hour with the Taurid meteor shower, but they burn brightly. Be sure to make a wish if you see one.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Who did the Wallabies beat in a spectacular come-from-behind win on the weekend? Did you say England? You would be correct. Question number 2. What's the name of the comet whose debris will make a meteor shower tonight? Well done if you said Encke. Question number 3. A minute's silence happens at how many minutes past 11 o'clock for Remembrance Day? Yep, that's right. It's 11 minutes past 11.
Shout-outs.
Today is Monday, November 11. Don't forget to pause to remember those who gave their lives at 11 past 11 this morning. It's also a special day for these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today and tomorrow. Darcy from Bundaberg, Florence from The Gap, Hunter from Rose Bay, Georgia from Talligarupna, Amelie from Indrapilli, Ethan from Carnegie, Davey from Kensington, Emmy listening all the way over there in London in England, and Ardy who's listening in Ottawa in New Zealand. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Poppy from Kingscliff, who's travelling around Australia, and also to Hannah from Rose Bay. And today's classroom shout-outs go to the kindergarten class with Ms Butler, and Year 3 with Ms Bonotto and Ms Ericiello, both at St Paul of the Cross Catholic Primary School in Dulwich Hill. To Class 4 Gold at Mount Carmel School in Yass, and happy belated birthday to Mrs Courtois, and the students in Year 4, 5 and 6 at Cannon Hill State School, and a very happy belated birthday to Mr Smith. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au, or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Squiz Kids shortcut on Australia at War. It drops first thing in the morning. You don't want to miss it. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.